Do you have questions about buying or selling a home, not sure if you're qualified? Your local real estate agent, Antoinette Ware, is here for you. Do you live out of town, moving out of town, or looking for investment property? Well, let's work together and make it happen. Antoinette Ware can be reached at 419-917-6258. The name you know, celebrating over 20 years, serving Toledo and surrounding areas. Frida's Cleaning Service is a small family-owned business established in 2003. With over 17 years of professional, high-quality, and greatly satisfied service, the Frida's Cleaning Service will get the job done. Specializing in sanitizing your home, business, post-construction, and commercial cleaning, no job's too big or small. See for yourself and give us a call, 567-249-9172. La Frida's Cleaning Service. Our reputation is always spotless.
Are you tired of driving around a dirty car? Say hello to the ultimate solution for your car. Quick Auto Detail, home, work, or wherever. Their mobile car spa will clean and shine your car anytime and anywhere. Their products are gentle on your car's paint, and they use only the highest quality materials. Book your appointment now.
Hi, this is TV comedy impressionist Christopher G from the other side of the pond saying hi, and I love the Queen Silvy show.
Welcome to the Queen Silvy Show. Tune in at 11, good laugh, good vibe, that's for sure. Get smooth with Tim, get smooth with Tim. They have you running like you popped the pill. Once you hear the show, you ain't gonna want it to end. Get creative with the sounds you can make with your mouth. Reaching all over the world, Queen Silvy in the house. Award-winning show, got the #1 spot, look out. It's the Queen Silvy Show. 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 It's the Queen Silvy Show.
Hi, this is Joe Mass. You are listening to the Queen Silvy Show. You are now part of the royalty.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live, it's time for the silky smooth sounds of Smooth Tim and Her Majesty herself, Queen Silvy.
Hey, it is Smooth Tim, and thank you so very much for dropping by and spending another terrific Tuesday with us on the multiple award-winning Queen Silvy Show. Speaking of the Queen, it is now my pleasure to bring her to you, straight from the Glass City, the Queen herself, the sexiest granny in the world, Queen Silvy.
Well, all of that of what he said, for it is me, Queen Silvy, on this terrific Tuesday, the multiple award-winning The Queen Silvy Show. You. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in this great world today. I hope you're ready, because we have some super greatness for you. So, you do have time to be kind and spread the word for someone else to come on in and get that super greatness that we have in store for you. Smooth, how are you today?
I'm doing terrific on this Tuesday, Queen. How are you doing?
As always, I'm supercalifragilistic.
Expialidocious,
Yes.
I suppose, is 24/7, 365. Queen Silvy, you are always simple.
I know. Amazing. Woo! Go on and smack yourself, because it's true.
I'll
I
think
am
about
amazing.
that.
I am amazing. But you are amazing. Smooth, you are amazing. We have an amazing guest and some announcements, yes?
Absolutely. Hey, as always, our hearts and prayers going out around the world. Still all kinds of things going on. Still nothing really being settled as far as disputes around the world. I wish they would just shake hands and call it a day.
Right?
It's a lot easier to love thy neighbor, isn't it? I think. I believe. And, hey, Christmas is just around the corner. I know it's a struggle, and, there's a lot of other resources out there. We hope you're able to reach out and get some resources if needed for
Absolutely.
you during these holiday seasons. And otherwise, on our today's guest, we are actually very honored to have coming across the pond and spending some time with us. A men's coach, a holistic practitioner, Mr. Keith Hagar.
Looking forward to this, okay?
So, interesting. So, it's always kind of fun to talk to people across the pond.
Yes, it is indeed. I love this. We aim to bring the best in live entertainment, talents, topics, and resources from around the world just for you, and you are in for a treat today. Before we get things going, you know me. What I like to do is I like to share some motivational words from the Queen Silvy Show. A positive mindset fuels your inner strength and resilience, guiding you through life challenges. A strong man is one who knows his weaknesses and works on turning them into strengths. Know that your strength doesn't come from winning. Your struggles develops your strengths. And when you go through hardships and decide to surrender inside, not to surrender, that is your strength. So take a stand. Discover the power within and unleash your inner strength. That's right. And those are some motivational words, you baby, from the Queen Silvy Show to you. Yes, audience, keep it going, because what I like to do is give some shout outs to my friends, my good deserving kings all over, like you, Pepper Gomez, and Wake Up Music Rocks. Holistic health advocate, Mara Riley. Marie McKenzie and the International Sexual Assault Recovery Institute. Carmen Jewel and Massage Therapy by Carmen. Simone Enterprise and Entertainment Company and the Simone Family Foundation. A Journey Through Healing with Beatrice Crawford Daniel.
Shout out to you.
That's right. Kizzy Patino, Queen Jenna, Queen Ashley, Follette Clark, and Kenneth Rawls.
Shout out to you.
The Helen Myers, Peace Myers, Corey and Casey Patino, and Joan Mercer.
Shout out to you.
To Queen Aaliyah, Asia, Tay, Maya, Camille, and Dejour.
Shout out to you.
To my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren.
Shout out to you.
To Jonathan Easley, Lee Allen Sr., Wade and Katrina, LP and Cynthia, Melvin and Teresa, Kaki and Mike.
Shout out to you.
To Queen Sonia, Kaki, Shanika, Alana, Brianna, and Precious.
Shout out to you.
To Nancy, Delia, and Chrissy from Fort Worth, Texas.
Yippee-yi-ho. Yippee-yi-ho.
That's right. To Ryan and the All-American Boys, Matt and Tracy and the All-American Girls.
Shout out to you.
I think it's time for me to take a pause with the calls and clear my throat. One moment, please.
Ooh, ooh, meow. Ready, ready.
Ugh, I love that. Don't knock it till you try it. To Pamela Anderson, C. Shorty Franklin, Patricia Wilhelm McGiffin, Renita Easley, Gold Rosa, Donna Ferry, and Pam Bailey.
Shout out to you.
To my good friends in Africa, Amy Kanima, Webster Rito, Hostile Flow, Hero Boy, and Princess Area Lua.
Shout out to you.
Sabrina Williams, Pinky Harmon, Sassy Savage, Robin Taylor, DJ Team Broke, 100.
Shout out to you.
To my good friends in United Kingdom, Beth Lambert, Nicola Jones, Bethany Jones, and Kay Cross.
Top of the day, mate. Top of the day, mate.
Okay. To Lorenzo Gabaniza, Christine Lewis Sanderson, James and Audrey, Series Edition, and Nana Linda Hartley.
Shout out to you.
To Queen Edith Verhoek, Queen D. Brown, Sandra and Ben Johnson, Melody Gorb Dobb, Miguel Montebon, Brian Pearson, and my good friend, Joe Maz.
Shout out to you.
That's right. Hey, listen. If you would love to be shouted out, if you have someone you would love for us to represent and shout out, we will hook you up 3 days a week, every Tuesday with the multiple award-winning The Queen Silvy Show, every Wednesday with Tim's Tidbits, and every Thursday with the Now You Know Show with Queen Silvy and Smooth Tim, as we aim to bring the best in live entertainment, talents, topics, and resources from around the world just for you. Check out this resource, and when we get back, you already know, don't you? The ball is going to be rolling with super greatness we have in store for you on The Queen Silvy Show. Join me every Tuesday for fun and games and play for cash. That's right. Sylvia Mint, the fun word guessing game is back, and you can come aboard and play. It's simple. Just email us your name and contact information, and you are in there, baby. Yeah.
We're back.
Hey, we are back on this terrific Tuesday. As I said before, you do have time to be kind and spread the word for someone else to come on in and get this super greatness we have in store for you. That's right. Men's coach, holistic practitioner with a background in breathwork, yoga, and emotional intelligence, guiding men to break old patterns, regulate their nervous system, and reconnect with their strength, purpose, and truth. His work is raw, it's practical, and it's built from lived experience. Here sharing his experience, live from Athens, Greece, I introduce to you Keith Hagar.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you
Keith.
for having me on the show. I'm excited.
Well, I
today.
thank you for taking the time being here on the show, Keith. You are from Athens, Greece. Now, that's a place that I'm yet to visit. So tell me what's it like in Athens, Greece, you know, the good and the bad.
To be honest, I'm actually originally from England, but I'm living in Greece at the moment. But the good and the bad. Obviously, the thing is, I can't speak the language yet, so that's probably one of the harder things. For me, I like it here. I mean, the weather's always a lot better in England, so I feel a lot calmer in myself. The people are super nice. The food is really good here.
Is it really? That's
Really
good.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a foodie, you're like the food in Greece, definitely.
Hey,
Especially the home cooked food. They do like stores, places you can go and get like home cooked food, and it's the bomb.
wow.
And the souvlaki, which is basically just meat and bread, but with tzatziki, and yeah, it's simple things, but it tastes amazing.
That's all right. You know, you've turned your personal traumas into your purpose, assisting men to break old patterns and regulate their nervous system, connect with their strength, purpose, and truth. But why don't you take me back to your personal traumas that you've endured and overcome?
Yeah, I mean, there's been different parts of my life, so I kind of gather into the first 0 to 10 years. And it all started around about when I was like 4 years old. My parents split, and I think between what I've understood from the split, it was a bit not the most friendly between the two, and I was kind of stuck in the middle. That was kind of probably the start of like my dysregulation. And then what really the first major traumatic event was when I was, I think, about 6. My mum had an alcoholic boyfriend, and he took it upon himself one evening to come up into my room and threatened me to cut my hand off when I
Wow.
was sleeping in bed. So that was like a major traumatic experience for me. And between then and up to like 10 years old, or after that, before he'd gone, it was a lot of bullying from him, a lot of unsafety, emotional neglect. That was kind of the first 10 years what I've kind of wrapped it into so far. And then it was the next 10 years, from kind of the age of 12 to 18, where like the bullying come in from school, of course, from all the criticism at home, things started unraveling in myself. So of course, I got a bit wild in myself, and no one really, everyone just thought I was a naughty kid, but it was because obviously I had all that pent up trauma from all the stuff before. My dad, then at 16, my dad had a accident and he drowned, and that really took a lot from me because I was too busy to go see him because I mean at 16 I was hanging out, I was playing video games, and they always think they're there. So he was just 1 minute he was there and then he was gone. So
Mm.
that was quite difficult for me, and I felt a lot of sorrow on that, and so much so that one day my mum found me in my room with like a knife to my wrist. So, but again, all she done was just shout at me, telling me I was stupid and didn't really understand what was going on. So things just kind of over the next few years, I mean, I got kicked out of college, school, things just went a bit wild. And then when I got a job within the fitness industry, but was one of the last industries I ever thought I'd go into because
Mm.
I was complete opposite when I was a kid. Things just from there, from 18 to like at least 22, 23, it was just every weekend, it was just drink, drug, and rock and roll, basically.
Wow.
Um, so, and
You're
then
a strong
once
guy, though.
after
I
that
mean,
kind of,
that's a lot. You're a
sorry,
strong person to have come through all of this experience. That is a lot to take for, I don't know, female, male, child, all of that. That's really amazing. But did you go through any therapy or counseling at any point throughout those years?
the only person who I've never had any kind of real support. There's only one person who actually come into my life when I was about 19. She was a shaman, and she just gently. I found her interesting because she'd moved back to the UK. She'd been in America. She'd studied all this stuff, and I thought it was like magic. I didn't have a clue really what it was, but she slowly guided me and imprinted the things in my head. Um, so she was the one really kind of back then who was the only one really supporting me. And
Mm.
I think because of these nudges, as I got to about 24, I quit all the drink and drugs, moved away from all my friends, and completely cleaned myself up,
Good for
like
you.
just cold turkeyed everything.
Good for
That
you.
was also is also difficult because it's like the circle of people you think you're friends just disappear.
Right?
Um, so it was all of a sudden I had loads of friends and I had no friends.
Right?
Um, so it was a difficult period, and like I realized I started at that period. I realized now I started using coping mechanisms, which was just going to the gym. I changed a bad habit to a good habit. You could
Mm-hmm.
say both habits, but so I started hitting the gym a lot. I started focusing on my food. Emotional eating kind of started then as well. So I would be scared to eat food, so I didn't want to get fat and all this lot. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a it was a bit of a wild journey for that few years, and then so that was these are kind of there's significant events, and then after 26, I got to a point in my life where I don't know, I just thought there was more out there. I wanted to explore more. I also had a lot of burdens from my family on me as well, from my mum, and she lost a business, and she lost the family home, so I took on the family home, and it was just too much of a burden because it was all my mum's burden. So
Right.
I literally sold literally everything I owned, apart from maybe like half a bedroom of stuff. And I left England and I just went, that was 12, 13 years ago now. Um,
Wow.
I haven't
Well, you
been
know, you do
looked
what
at
you
her
have to
since.
do. You do what you have to do, and the
Changing
things.
that circle of influence is also hugely important,
Absolutely,
to your
absolutely.
growth and your well being.
So good for you. I know one thing, when you're experiencing any trauma or emotional neglect, it's important to don't pretend that it didn't happen or ignore the impact. That's easy to be done, then face it and go through things, which it can be a negative buildup, adding to more challenges in your life that you have to get through. But now for you, Keith, just listening to all these things that you've endured and went through, how did you turn your traumas into strength?
It's a good question. I think as I was younger, I didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest. I'm quite a stubborn person in general. So over time, I think it was it just got to a point, for instance, when I quit all the drink and drugs, I just didn't want to do it anymore. You know, I found all the stuff I was starting to like and the stuff I wanted to focus on was all in the health industry,
Mm.
like food, nutrition, all the stuff
Mm-hmm.
I was learning, studying, and I've always known I've wanted to help people,
Mm-hmm.
and so it kind of started there. So for me, it was just I kind of fell into that part, and then I kind of allowed life to kind of lead me that way, and better quality people started coming into my life, which
Good.
kind of brought me up a bit. But also when I was traveling, it opened my eyes going into countries like India and Sri Lanka and like up into the Himalayas in Nepal. Like people have nothing there, like they're so happy. So I started seeing life as like people are happy with nothing, and I kind of have everything, but I didn't really. There's a lot to comprehend, a lot during my travels. It's like getting my head around, like understanding what I'd been through because I blocked a hell of a lot of it out, or most of it actually. And it's been segmental as I've been getting older, where things are unpacking. I'm like, this wasn't right. This wasn't right. Okay, this wasn't normal. This was normal. This was meant to be my life. I thought it was normal, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
normal. Um,
How did all
so
these
things.
travels come into play in all these various
As I
countries?
said, sorry.
How did all these travels come into play into various countries instead of, yeah, you went from country to country? How did all that come into play? And is that part of your process of healing? How did that come into play?
Yeah, again back then I didn't know what I was doing, but if I look at it now, it was a process of my healing. It allowed me to basically get away from everything what I've been through within
Mm-hmm.
the country and to kind of slowly kind of unravel things because I've, I was now fully independent. I could make my own choices. I didn't have anyone dictating over me. No one was bullying. If I didn't want to be somewhere, I could choose my own choices.
Mm-hmm.
But it was also I was meeting interesting people along the way who'd done a lot of work and would expose me to different modalities, especially in India. There's a lot of obviously spirituality there. So I was
Mm-hmm.
exposed to these new things and new ways of thinking. So it started because I'm quite intellectual, so I have to understand things before I can fully let things go.
Mm-hmm.
So I started like I'd have long chats with just random people about how like you get deep with how they grew up and they'd be telling me different things. I'm like, oh, okay, but maybe things weren't normal and I could comprehend it. And then over time, once I started to learn more about breath work and different somatics, and I found things would start coming out. So when I do these practices, I just break down and cry, or things would come out
Mm-hmm.
of me, which I never really understood. And I
But
was able
that's a
to then
good thing.
process it in different ways.
That's
So
a good thing. You know,
it's
you.
been
I'm sorry.
it's just been quite the eye opener if I look back at my journey, to be honest.
That's all right though. You know, you once you got outside that box, once you got outside that negativity, you start seeing all the positivity. You're being put in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people to influence you. You know, you said you didn't go to therapy or counseling, but you're blessed because yeah, throughout your path, you are being introduced to people who's motivating you, inspiring you, opening up your mind to the better parts of life and the better parts of your own body that you can do and explore. When I think that is great because you know when you're experiencing that positive transformation after a trauma, it's known as PTG or post traumatic growth, right? So you tell me, you know what things have destroyed you. You know what things that you had to regain your strength from. So, what strengths have you discovered in yourself while you navigate through this challenge? See, I can tell you that you're strong, you're a person, but in your words, what strengths did you discover in yourself?
It's a lot more like trusting myself and learning to my intuition, which I still struggle with now, but my intuition, if it doesn't feel right, that I should listen to myself more. Before I wouldn't listen to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's more intuition and having habits which help me maintain, I could say my sanity.
Mm-hmm.
I need to have a certain ritual to keep myself safe, like just like simple things like going to the gym, eating. The more I can have a rigid schedule, I know it sounds a bit crazy, but it helps me as I've got older. It keeps me safer, and I've learned to actually try and express things more as well,
Mm-hmm.
or take time if there's been an altercation rather than just going locking up completely. Like I try and breathe through it, and then I can like return rather than just kind of like completely lock up and dissociate, which I realized I used to do a lot when I was younger.
Hmm.
So it's more being aware of my own self, my own actions now, and
Mm.
trying to catch myself because these scars are always going to be there.
Right.
It's just the scars aren't as deep anymore. Um, so I don't have to keep picking up the wounds because the wound is healed up.
Good.
So it's a lot about understanding my triggers now, a lot more as I've got older and seeing if someone does trigger me, why am I triggered, rather than asking, start blaming myself. It's like trying to pick it apart. Like, okay, why is this? Why is that? And trying to see it in different aspects. So it's a lifelong kind of box. I'm trying to put the puzzle back together.
Well, I'm proud of you for what you're doing. I don't know, haven't been there throughout your life, but what you've told me, painting a picture in my mind is a lot, and you've come out of this with a testimony, but not just a testimony. You're also helping other men, which is very important. But as a men's coach and a holistic practitioner, the lifestyle changes and the mental health is very crucial for men's well-being. But what do you say to men that's feeling frustrated, burnt out, or they just want to give up? What would you say to them?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question because I've been in these spaces many times and it's about reaching out and about speaking to someone and rather than holding it in and penting it up, it's about reaching out. It doesn't have to be, even if it's someone you barely know but you have a connection with, it's about being able to speak to them and then being able to release that anger in some way, shape, or form. I mean, for me, it was the gym. From other people, it's yoga. For other, whatever that leads to be able to express it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first step to be able to express, and the second step is that connection. Having so like friends, family, or even a men's circle or a group of men, healthy men. I have to reiterate that because it can be in the wrong space as well, which doesn't help. But these are the main two things that's helped me along the way is being able to express and if I have that anger, being able to direct it in the right area. Because with men, we direct it in the wrong area and we start destroying ourselves. Drink,
Mm-hmm.
drug addictions, we go this way because we don't know how to express it. We don't have the space. So it's about them having the space to express this in a safe, healthy manner.
Don't take this as a sexist comment, but I think women have an easier time expressing themselves to another woman, even if it's a stranger, than men do talking to another man, expressing, what's going on emotionally and mentally with them. Do you agree?
Yeah, again, it is definitely, as you say, over the years, women have always had their close friends to chat to, and men have kind of been, I've noticed, been talking to a lot of people, we kind of isolate a bit more. It's
Mm-hmm.
like the lone wolf, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's never quite the space to talk, or even if they do try and talk, if they're in the wrong space, it's just like the other friends are just like, yeah, yeah, whatever, tap tap on their head, have another drink kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's having that space, and again, both sexes they need space to talk.
Right.
But it's well known over the years that women tend to have a lot more support through their own network, but guys don't connect the same way as women. It
Right.
takes time. They're slowly getting there now, um, but it's still the Lone Ranger mentality.
That is true, but I'm gonna just take a note. Some women can talk to other women, and they're not the right woman to talk to. They'll take it and boop, make the whole situation worse. So, I mean, we can talk to women
Mm.
more easier, but even then, you better be precautious because everyone's not the right one to confide something deep within. But see, that's why there are women out there that's helping women in those areas, and there are men like you who is
That's why
helping.
Keith is out there.
That's right. We have men. You have Keith. Men, I want you to know Keith is there for you because Keith, Keith, when you are experiencing and growing through this process of healing, talking about it is great. It's beneficial. It is, but it doesn't put it all behind you totally. I mean, sometimes, like you said just a few minutes ago, you experience these triggers, you experience criticism, you experience stress, and that can be bad if someone doesn't know the right path to go through. That can be even more destructive or it can be more resolving. But how do you handle it? Because I know that you go through this. We're all human. How do you handle the stress and these triggers while balancing your life?
Yeah, good question. Depending which trigger kicks me, it depends obviously how I react, but generally if it's can I catch myself now. At first, I would just kind of lock and go quiet, but then I'm starting to I realize like, okay, I'm going quiet and I'm trying to kind of move myself out of the situation, whatever it may be. So I just have to kind of take a few moments in myself and then bring myself back and then re-enter. So it's like I'm giving my inner child like time to breathe, and then my adult self is like, then like we got this, and then turn back and like talk it through. But even then, it's still stuck in my body. So even now, sometimes when we're talking through this, I can still feel the angst slightly coming on in my body and the tension because it is still there when I talk about these situations. When I feel frustrated, I move. Like I have to get to the gym. I have to go and move and get my that energy like out.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, like in the gym, I can lift, put some music on. It brings me out of that state. Um, Usually the hardest thing for me is when I get my oscillating thoughts. It's like my head's like left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I always say I need to try and shut that up. So like usually I have to generally I move or I do some breathing techniques or I shake, try and shake out the energy, just try and like do anything to kind of switch my head from too much thought process and move back into my body or just kind of clear whatever's coming up. So there's different strategies I'm learning for different kind of triggers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say I've got all of them down because I definitely 100% haven't. It's an ongoing process. Um, but it's also actually, I also sometimes, if I'm feeling like stressed, I always sometimes, it's again, I have like back years ago, I used to cope with eating. So, but now I can catch myself. So I go and sometimes I go out and I eat a ton of food and I'm like, I know I'm doing this for emotions now, but I kind of accept it
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of calms it. So I'm kind of working different ways how I kind of understand my own triggers and what I can do to kind of bring me out of it slowly.
Well, you know what? At least you know when you're getting triggered from something. You know, and your body's telling you because it's responding. Whether you try to ignore it, it's going to tell you. And at least you're doing the right things for it. Because, like I'm saying, some people might not know that they're being triggered, and just outright be angry or aggressive. And then there's some that knows and feels that they're having a trigger and don't care because they don't have the motivation or don't care because they feel like they're at rock bottom and there's no hope, but there is hope. And incorporating activities like mindfulness, meditation, breath work, all these can help regulate the nervous system. So I want you to just tell me, why is that important?
Because everything, the nervous system basically regulates everything. So whatever is stored in the body, even if it's 30, 20 years ago or yesterday, whatever experience, the body holds on to it. And the body, I like to call it, it's like the red light system. So if your body's forever on like the red light, whatever something's gonna say, like something bugs you, whatever it's something simple like there's something on the side, like you're always going to go into that red alert, and that's when you're at your worst. So we want to move that red alert down back into the green. By doing this, you have your somatic techniques. It's about breathing, calming what's inside, so you don't feel like we're consistently wired. Which, with being in the world we are in today, it's not just other people's eyes, it's just the job, it's the computers. We're on edge. Money, everything brings
Mm-hmm.
us to the point we're on edge. And this is basically all in our nervous system. And when it's all in our nervous system, it locks up the body. When it locks up the body, then we get injured, then things happen, also immune diseases, all different things happen. So everything is basically linked to the nervous system. So the better we can regulate that with, like, it's not just breath work, but cold exposure. Obviously, heat can help as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's many different ways, like tapping, anything like to bring us back into the present, because as soon as the nervous system kicks, we're either somewhere, either future or past, or
Mm.
just completely dissociated. So we're never in the present.
Can I ask you a question?
So
Do you teach
yeah,
like reaction recognition? Like you should notice that your breathing is getting a little bit heavier or deeper or more rapid, or maybe your pulse rate or your body temperature is increasing. Do you teach that kind of stuff so they can regulate it before it goes to the extreme?
yeah, this is like the awareness point is about being everyone's reactions are slightly different. There is obviously there is like the main ones, like obviously the sweaty palms, the tightness of chest, the jaw clenching, the heart rate speeds up, lack of breath. These are obviously signs that the nervous system's dysregulating. But everyone has slightly different. One would be a bit more active and underactive in different people. But it's more about understanding them. So it's like as we do the breath work and things, it's like teaching these people that like this is normal to go around with like a tense jaw all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not just the muscles. There's underlying issues with the nervous system, what's making you feel tense, or
Mm-hmm.
grinding teeth. This is another one that which
Yes.
some people do.
Yes.
So there's a lot about making each person aware as they go through their journey that when they come in, for instance, if they're sitting in front of you and they're like this, then you know straight away if their shoulder up to their ears, there's some tension going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for instance, I had a client I'm working with who was fully tense, he'd always get neck pain. We started helping him with some breath work and dysregulating the nervous system back to centered and calmer, and his shoulder pain disappeared.
That's
So
interesting.
it's how everyone's body holds differently. It's making them aware, and then when you become aware of it, it's like, oh yeah, this is all linked to because I've been holding the tension. I was like, yes, and now it's linking back to because you're on edge and X, Y, Z. So by doing these techniques, we're regulating you back to calm, and you can
Absolutely.
see it in their eyes. They just like boom, it's like comes in like feeling like they want to cry, and then they leave. Like you see this, I don't know, it's an amazing thing to
Yeah,
see
but
how
what does that make you
what
feel
can
like?
happen in
How does
30
that make
minutes.
you feel knowing that you have made a difference for someone, that you have started the ticking clock to positivity and a new life for another man? How does that make you feel?
It's like over the moon, to be honest. It feels like so like I'm in the right. I'm here for this is my purpose. It fully regulates back to my purpose. I'm like, okay, I am on this earth to do something which is helping people become better. And it's like sometimes to the point where if it's been a big session, they've come in really like all over the place and they leave completely opposite. Sometimes I have to take a few minutes after and be just like, wow. Like
Well,
that was, I mean, sometimes it feels like I want to cry because I feel like happy for it.
oh
It's like
yeah, I
happy
understand.
tears, you could say.
I understand.
Let me ask you a question. When you get these clients that come to you and have a conversation, you obviously have to develop a trust relationship so that they're willing to buy in or invest in what you're selling, right? How do you speak to this person when they come to you so that they, you develop that relationship and they're willing to invest in themselves with you?
Mm.
Treat them like a real person. I'm not, the way I start is I go by understanding what they need. So when they talk to me, most of the time I can relate in some way, shape, or form with what they've been through or what they need from just the years of like the work on my own body and the stuff I've been through. So I can relate. And this is why I work specifically with men because I can relate specifically with some of, not all, but a lot of the things they've gone through. So it's just being a real human being. I'm not here to try and rip anybody off or anything. I'm here to generally help, and this is what I want to do. So it comes through with me just being human,
Right,
basically, and not a machine.
right. Well, that's good. You keep it raw. You keep it real, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
if they can't handle the truth and can't, give the truth and want the best for themselves, well, then you got your extra work cut
Well,
out
then
for
they
you.
need to go somewhere else if they're if they're not willing to make that type of an investment in themselves. Hey, they don't really want to make the change.
yeah. Of course. I mean, maybe they're not just in that space ready. They want to, they're just not in the space there.
Right,
I mean,
right,
there's many times over the years where people they want to make it, they think they're ready, and they're not. It's
right,
too much of an overload. So it's just when they're ready, and it's like you can't do the work for them. They need to
right.
come there ready and willing to do the work and just be gently guided. So
Absolutely.
a lot of times it's more about educating men because even though there is a lot of people, men helping men in the world, it's not out in the open yet,
Mm-hmm.
you could say. It's still kind of underground. So there's a lot of people who don't understand what's going on in their bodies. A lot of people who think it's normal to go through and to be treated a certain way, or as they think it's normal that they should feel consistent pressure or consistently on edge. So there's a lot of this education first about making them aware that maybe there is something what's not right.
That's right. Need to research, learn your body and everything, because it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to just boop wake up overnight. I mean, the healing
It's a slow, ongoing process. And, it's within yourself that you'll find that strength you need. I always tell people just put in that E for effort. EFFOR. If you just start with that E, you're going to see and you're going to feel that, you know what, I think I can. I think I can. But, what suggestions, what suggestions from a holistic approach would you tell men about when it comes to nutrition?
Good question. Generally, people overcomplicate nutrition, to be honest, especially with everything out there. Nutrition-wise, just keep it simple. Usually, I keep it simple as things. Most men, they need a bit more protein, so just getting the clean protein, then more vegetables, veggies, fruit, veg, and then the omega-3 is super important as well. It's actually understanding where to get that from with certain foods. So like oily fish, obviously there's flax seeds as well, which is another. So it's two types of omega-3.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about making sure the body's on the basic terms, uh, has the basics, and then it comes down to the other things. Is like make sure you're not eating all the crap.
Right.
Because even if you are eating half the good stuff, if you're eating still consistently rubbish food full of chemicals, which are exposed and using creams full of chemicals, it's going to disrupt all the testosterone, the whole system in the body. So it's more about making them aware that we need to take out all these things to a point where we're just taking all as much of the poisons out as much as we can. I mean, we can't take away everything in this
Right.
life now, unfortunately. Um, and then it's trying to put all the better things back in so the body can actually start regulating. So I don't go too crazy to start with because it's about people's nutrition can be so far-fetched. Um, so it's about starting simple and changing little things like moving away from products that are full of chemicals and moving to more natural. Simple things like moving from toothpaste that's full of fluoride to natural toothpaste.
Mm-hmm.
Moving like body washes which are full of chemicals to uh, natural, as 100% natural, as
Yep.
little chemicals as possible. And then over that is obviously, of course, on top of that, there's also the environment. Of course, you can only do your best in that. Um, And then, of course, you can look at other supplementation, but if you're going to start taking supplementation to take out heavy metals and parasites and things like this, and you're still eating rubbish and you've still got chemicals coming in your body, you've got to start somewhere because everything interlinks, and you can
Mm-hmm.
only do so much somewhere. So
I
generally,
may
it's
or
about
may
keeping
not
it
be wrong,
simple.
but my opinion is if you're going to do something radical, like change like that, you should really have some blood work done so you know exactly where your body's at, where your deficiencies are at,
Mm-hmm.
so that if you're not radicalizing something that's already a problem.
Yeah, I mean, you can go the way of blood work, of course. It depends. It depends what blood work you can take, because you can
Right.
just take the normal vitamins and minerals, but that's also not going to tell you if your hormones are out. But then, if your hormones are out, why your hormones are out.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can do specific tests if you've got parasites or if you've got heavy metals, because all these can interlink and change all the blood work results. So it's a game of cat and mouse on everything
Yeah. Yeah.
in this life. So this is why I don't want people to get overwhelmed. It's my job to be overwhelmed with their stuff, and then me to try and organize that into an easier way for them to move forward. So, I
That's
mean,
good.
of course, having blood work done, if they have the money to constantly get blood work checked and everything in over this way in the Europe and things, people don't do so much of that. Checking all their bloods and doing different tests for everything. It happens, but it's not so common. Um, so usually it's about slowly. You can generally tell when people are detoxing anyway, because the body would change. Like, for instance, if they're usually like smelling a certain way, the more they detox, the smells would disappear. Um, if they're starting to like have like simple things like lack of energy or like candida on the foot and things, over time is changing this, it will start changing. So
Mm.
as the body starts, for instance, the candida on the nail starts disappearing, then it's coming out of the system.
Yep.
So there is signs on the body.
Well, you are doing the greatest thing that I can think of for helping men get them going is to start their thinking. You say the right thing, you click that thinking, and then they want to learn more, And it's about learning. It's about learning yourself, learning all these different ways. What works for one might not work for one, but that's why there's many options out there as long as you're going on the right path. But in staying focused and driven, you have a 3-step action plan, don't you? Tell me about it.
So 3 step action plan is based on basically the breathwork techniques. And generally, we start doing the breathing techniques, it allows you to start regulating your system down. So when you're calmer, you're able to then have move into the next step. And the next step, of course, we've got some journaling in there. And then the third step is going into action. So there's the 3 steps. Simple. It may sound simple, but the simplest is always generally the easiest and the best option. Because once the regular nervous system is regulated, you can see it clearly, you can think clear, and then you're able to go into action a lot better. Because the nervous system, if you're on red alert all the time, you can't think 100% and you can't take action. So it's simple. That's why I say it's 3 steps.
Mm-hmm.
You regulate, you have a clearer mind, and you take action.
Absolutely. I like that. I like that indeed. But and you help men worldwide. Do you offer these in-person and online sessions, or is it just in person? How do you do it?
It's online. I do online sessions with people one-to-one, and we're in the process of bringing people together in retreats also, hopefully next year. I was thinking what year it was then.
Oh, that would be nice. Doing a retreat.
Yeah, it's about bringing the connection together because one of the biggest things men struggle with is connection.
I
And once
like
you
that.
put them together with the people on the same mindset, the same thought process, the same reason they're there, they become friends for life.
So you're
And this is
focusing
their
on
support connection.
He actually becomes like a fraternal organization.
I like that.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah.
I like that. So your focus is on the retreat for next year and the year is coming now. But any ideas about maybe a book, sharing your story and giving some suggestions in a book, maybe?
I have thought of that actually. It came up last week or 2 weeks ago. I was thinking about putting together something like that about sharing my experiences, and I haven't quite figured out yet because I'm not the best writer. I'm a better talker. So it's about trying to find. I have thought about that as well. How can I reach
that would
more
be
people?
even
in
if
this
it's an
story?
ebook or an actual book. There's so many ways to communicate. So why not give what your gift and your blessing
you
and your
put
purpose,
your thoughts down
put it
and
out
let-
in a
and-
lot of
yeah.
different ways.
And then you can have AI document it out into a book for you. You can
I
just
can see
dictate
that.
it out. Let AI put it out and organize it in a publishing type of format.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's available. Why not?
something to think
Everything
about.
else is.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Listen, Keith, this has been a great time with conversations with you, and I want to have so many more. We can pick a subject and we can do a segment totally on just that subject and not this, and this, and that, because you have a lot to give, and there's a lot of hurting people out here. Sure, women, but listen, when it comes to men, it is so important because men have a lot to wear, a lot of hats that they wear, a lot of expectations that people have for them, and some doesn't even look and know the shield that they have up from all the things that they're personally going through. And so eventually you need to face it. You need to take care of it in order to live and in order to just stay focused in life. So I love what you're doing. I love to have you back to continue this because we always aim to bring the best. We do. And to help anyone all over the world. And with today's technology, it makes it happen. Like you're in Greece and we're here. You feel me? So we will connect again and do anything. But before you go, is there anything that you want to add or say that perhaps I didn't ask you?
I mean, if the closing sentence, as they say, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're struggling and you're a man out there and you feel you're on the edge and you feel you do not have anywhere to go, remember there is always light at the end of the tunnel, and my door is always open if you would need or want to talk. I will never turn anyone away, and it's always just reach out as the main thing. Please reach out.
You know what? You said something funny because I'm not going to tell anybody, hey, my door's always open. There's just going to always be somebody trying to turn my door knob. Queen. No.
Damn family.
But But I love that. So tell everyone how you can be followed on social media.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Holistic Brotherhood, spelled with a W, Facebook, TikTok, and yeah, just Holistic Brotherhood. There's the easiest and quickest way to find me and connect.
I love that holistic brother. That's what's up. Hey, Keith, I thank you so much for taking the time being on the show. We most definitely will connect with you again. And I appreciate you for sharing just your personal experience alone is enough. So you are at a certain point in your life where it's not hard for you to share that. Some people, it's hard for them to tell or to talk about what they're going through. So I know that your journey and where you're going is exceeding so much for, and I wish you continued success on all that you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Hey, make the most of your day. We'll be in touch with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Smooth, you have a advertisement you want to share with everyone?
Absolutely. Get on out of here. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been fun.
Thank you.
I'm more than happy to come on and talk and rabbit on about whatever you need.
Thank you. Okay.
Entertaining and informative.
That was fantastic. I enjoyed my conversation with Keith Hagar. You guys can follow him. Okay, Keith, and I'll spell the last name Hagar. Follow him everywhere on social media, doing some fantastic things from Athens, Greece, all the way around the world just for you. You men, you're special because he's a great guy, been through some things, going through some things, helping other people, making a difference, have a new purpose in life. And we need more men like Keith that helps some men out here because there is a lot of men right now struggling, holding in a bunch of things, got this shield up and you think,
everybody's going through a little something.
Get that out, get that away, take all that toxicity, take all that negativity and the negative emotional. Some men gets that way when they have a relationship and they break up or they turn into a beast. But listen, it's not as bad as you think if you put in effort. Keith is always here from you. Follow him always on social media, if you will. I enjoyed my conversation. Smooth enjoyed this conversation, and so I hope you did as well. You can get in contact with Keith anywhere on social media and let him know what you think about that. You have any questions, hit him up and ask him. He'll be there for you on this terrific Tuesday. Ooh, the Queen Silvy Show. You know that Queen Silvy has only had a cup of tea. Mm-hmm. And now I'm ready to have a plate of healthy food because I'm ready to smash. But before I do, I must remind you that tomorrow is Wednesday. That is Tim's Tidbits, bringing some entertainment, some news, some surprises. You must be a grown adult to handle this, is what I'm saying. If you can, you can. He also has the the Tim Tidbits asshole of the week. Ooh, I love that part. You don't know who the asshole is. Sometimes it's more than one asshole.
Can be.
Anything you want to say about it tomorrow?
Wow. No. Yeah, it definitely. Hey, if you can handle every day, well, you can handle the show. We just wrap up what happened through the week and laugh at it.
Well, check it out. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and that's in the evening, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check your time zones, but join us for Tim's Tidbits. Then come on back on Thursday, because that's the Now You Know show with Queen Silvy and Smooth Tim, bringing you inspirational, encouraging, motivating Tim.
Potpourri of entertainment.
Potpourri of entertainment. That's right. All coming from the heart just for you. Some great people with some great segments all for you. We also have the Now You Know show question of the week. That's where my good friends, my good kings and queens, video in their answer to the show question of the week. Then we end the show with the special video showcase that Smooth will provide clues for throughout the show before we reveal just whom that is.
Okay.
Tune into the Now You Know show on Thursdays. That too is in the evening, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, do check your time zones, but join us for the super greatness we bring to you as we aim to bring the best in live entertainment, talents, topics, and resources from around the world just for you, baby. That's right. So, hey, wherever you are, make the most of it. Make the most of your morning, afternoon, evening, You know, be kind to yourself, love yourself first, then going out there and check on other people. Be kind to them as well, your neighbors, family, and friends. You wouldn't believe how much of a difference that will make. So with that said, Smooth.
Ready to get out of here?
Ready to go.
Okie dokie. And why not? But hey, real quickly, you want to catch up on some past episodes? Throughout the whole screening of the show, you've seen our website, www.thequeensilvershow.com. You can contact us there. There is a contact tab. Or if you want to catch up on past shows, you can go to Queen Silvy Show on YouTube and catch up on all our past episodes, which is a whole bunch there. While you're on that channel, please subscribe.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, I think we're out of here because I'm getting hungry too. So
let's do it.
Until next week, same Queen time, same Queen station. We will holla. Goodbye.
Do you have
folks.
questions about buying or selling a home, not sure if you're qualified? Your local real estate agent, Antoinette Ware, is here for you. Do you live out of town, moving out of town, or looking for investment property? Well, let's work together and make it happen. Antoinette Ware can be reached at 419-917-6258. The name you know, celebrating over 20 years, serving Toledo and surrounding areas.